Lokasinya?
Lokasinya kita ada 5 cabang.
Oh, ada 5 cabang.
Di Pamulang.
Pamulang.
Terus kemudian di sini tentunya.
Di sini di mana namanya?
Di Ciputat.
Di Ciputat. Buka dari jam berapa aja, Mas?
Dari jam 2 siang.
Jam 2 siang?
Kita sudah menerima tamu jam 3.
Jam 3. Berarti buka jam 3 sampai tutup jam 11-an.
Jam 11 malam.
Kalau weekend?
Kalau weekend sampai dengan jam 12.
Ada Instagram atau website yang lainnya?
Ada.
Apa boleh kasih tahu, Mas?
Kebar.
Kebar?
Kebar, ya.
Udah, Mas, makasih banyak.
Oh ya, sama-sama.
Jangan kemana-mana dulu.
Ya.
Kita pamit dulu sama yang
Oke,
lagi
boleh,
nonton.
boleh.
Urban Street Food udah seru-seruan hari ini. Makasih banyak. Pokoknya saksikan Urban Street Food selalu. Barengan Oki Julian. Dan Mas siapa?
Dan saya Tugi.
Mas host juga? Oh. Ya udah. Kalau gitu Oki Julian pamit. Urban Street Food.
Makan enak tapi murah.
Ternak lele masih, Mas?
Masih dong.
Saya ternak masalah, Mas. Gabung dong sama saya.
Jokowi hopes added value from nickel smelter development. Kopi Kenangan has officially become unicorn. Good evening, viewers. Market Headlines is ready to provide you information from business, economic, and capital market sector. And as the pandemic is still ongoing, we will provide you the latest COVID-19 information. And please stay safe by taking some simple precautions, such as physical distancing, wearing a mask, avoiding crowds, cleaning your hands, and having less mobility. And with me, Fajar Wayong, this is Market Headlines. President Joko Widodo inaugurated a nickel smelter owned by Gunbuster Nickel Industry in North Morowali, Central Sulawesi. The president believes that the construction of the smelter will increase the added value of nickel. President Joko Widodo inaugurated a nickel smelter owned by Gunbuster Nickel Industry in North Morowali Regency, Central Sulawesi. In his remarks, Jokowi appreciated the construction of a nickel smelter, which has a production capacity of 1.8 million tons per year. The construction of this smelter is believed to increase the added value of nickel.
Saya sangat menghargai, mengapresiasi pembangunan smelter oleh PT Gunbuster Nickel Industry, dan ini akan memberikan nilai tambah yang tidak sedikit. Dari biji nikel yang diolah menjadi ferronikel, ini nilai tambahnya meningkat 14 kali. Dan jika dari biji nikel diolah menjadi billet stainless steel, akan meningkat nilainya 19 kali lipat. Karena memang tidak ada pilihan yang ingin mengambil, membeli bahan mentah kita sudah tidak bisa lagi. Artinya mau tidak mau harus mendirikan industri di tanah air. Sehingga kita tidak ekspor lagi yang namanya bahan mentah yang sudah berpuluh-puluh tahun kita lakukan tanpa memberikan nilai tambah yang besar kepada negara.
Jokowi has always pushed for the cessation of nickel exports in the form of raw materials and encouraged industrial downstreaming. As a result, domestic industries are developing rapidly and industrial downstreaming can occur very quickly as well. IDX Channel reports. The Ministry of SOEs is trying to develop a hospital health area on an international scale Minister of SOE targets the construction of the Bali International Hospital project to be completed in May 2023. Minister of State on Enterprises Erick Thohir targets the construction of the Bali International Hospital project in Denpasar to be completed in May 2023. The Ministry of SOEs is trying to develop a hospital health area on an international scale. This is because nearly 2 million Indonesians prefer to seek treatment abroad.
Kita pastikan rumah sakit ini berdiri, insya Allah targetnya di tahun 2023 bulan Mei, Bapak. Hampir 2 juta masyarakat Indonesia berobat ke luar negeri. Dan ini tentu devisanya keluar sangat banyak. Nah, karena itu selain kita mengkonsolidasikan rumah sakit supaya standarnya tinggi, tetapi juga rumah sakit internasional fungsinya ada 2, Bapak. Tadi membantu Bali mempunyai tadi yang namanya pariwisata baru, juga di pariwisata kesehatan. Sehingga ini ada kesinambungan baru untuk wisata di Bali sendiri. Karena kita tahu ekosistem ini menjadi kunci, Bapak. Kalau kita berdiri sendiri-sendiri, akhirnya tentu kita tidak punya kekuatan yang terpadu untuk menahan daripada gelombang yang terjadi ke depannya.
The Ministry of SOE seeks to consolidate hospitals so that they have high service standards. This Bali International Hospital also functions to help the region through health tourism, so that there is a new continuity for tourism in Bali itself. In addition, it is no less important to support the government in achieving international standard hospitals, both for the workforce and the professionals in it. Previously, President Joko Widodo hoped that the construction of the Bali International Hospital in Denpasar would make Bali a health tourism destination. IDX Channel reports. Finance Ministry reported that the realization of tax revenues as of December 26, 2021 reached 1,231 trillion rupiah, or exceeding the 2021 state budget target. Finance Minister Sri Mulyani reported that the realization of tax revenues this year reached 1,231.87 trillion rupiah as of December 26, 2021, or exceeding the 2021 state budget target. The figure is also above the realization throughout last year at 1,069.98 trillion rupiah. The total achievement of tax revenues is equal to 100.19% of the target mandated in the 2021 state budget of 1,229.6 trillion rupiah. Sri Mulyani appreciated the performance of the Directorate General of Taxes, who was able to collect tax revenues to reach the target, even in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic. There are at least 138 tax service offices that can exceed the target set in each office. Meanwhile, there are 7 Directorate General Taxes regional offices that can achieve the tax revenue target. Meanwhile, Director General of Taxes Suryo Utomo said that this achievement was something he had been wanting for since 12 years ago. He also appreciated the 46,000 employees of the Director General of Taxes who have worked hard to collect state revenues this year. However, Suryo said that next year will be very crucial for Indonesia. The reason is 2022 will be the last year the state budget deficit above 3% is allowed. IDX Channel reports. And we're moving on to global update. New COVID-19 vaccine requirements have come into force in New York City. Meanwhile, Spider-Man No Way Home has become the first pandemic-era movie to make more than 1 billion at the global box office. More stories on today's International Minute. New COVID-19 vaccine requirements have come into force in New York City as infections continue to surge, fueled by the Omicron variant of the virus. Children aged 12 and over are required to show proof of full vaccination to access indoor dining areas and many extracurricular school activities. The city is also introducing a vaccine mandate for private sector workers, the first in the U.S. to take such an action. Jabs are already mandatory for state employees. There have been more COVID-related flight cancellations globally as the week starts, capping off a miserable festive period for thousands of people. More than 2,200 flights have been scrapped on Monday, with China's and US destinations being the worst hit, the flight-aware data tracking website says. US Airlines says the disruption is due to crews testing positive or isolating. The latest installment of the Spider-Man franchise has become the first pandemic-era movie to make more than $1 billion at the global box office. Spider-Man No Way Home also took the title of highest-grossing film of 2021. It beat out Chinese-made Korean War epic The Battle of Lake Changjin, which has grossed more than $905 million worldwide. The last movie to gross more than $1 billion was 2019 Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker, according to media data analytics firm Comscore. Japan's retail sales rose faster than expected in November thanks to decreasing COVID-19 cases in the month, which have encouraged shoppers to ramp up spending on goods and services. And to support the economy, the government on Friday approved a record $940 billion budget for fiscal 2022, including cash payouts to families and businesses hit by the pandemic. IDX Channel reports.
Market headlines will be right back after this quick break. Stay tuned with us.
Pokoknya tahun baru Lia mau jalan-jalan. Ih, nanti kalau coronanya naik lagi gimana?
Gimana ya, Ma? Mama punya ide, Pak. Walaupun akhir tahun belum bisa kemana-mana, selalu ada cara untuk meramaikan suasana. Mari lindungi diri dan keluarga, tetap waspada, COVID-19 masih ada.
Hai Sobat Investor, kalian ingin tetap bisa menabung meskipun keadaan keuangan kalian sedang sulit? Dengerin tips berikut ini ya. Kita masuk ke tips yang pertama ya. Nah, yang pertama, kalian harus memenuhi semua kebutuhan rutin kalian terlebih dahulu nih. Barulah setelah itu kalian bisa mengalokasikan pendapatan kalian untuk memenuhi kebutuhan pelengkap lainnya. Kita masuk ke tips yang kedua ya Sobat Investor. Jadi penting sekali bagi kalian untuk menutup hutang sesuai dengan kemampuan kalian. Selain itu, kalian juga perlu menentukan utang mana yang harus kalian dahulukan untuk dilunasi. Selain itu, penting juga untuk selalu menyesuaikan dengan uang tunai yang kalian miliki. Tips selanjutnya yaitu tips yang ketiga. Jadi kalian penting sekali untuk menekan biaya bulanan nih Sobat Investor. Jadi kalian juga memang harus memangkas kebutuhan yang memang sifatnya hanya pelengkap saja. Dan penting sekali bagi kalian untuk mempertahankan biaya bulanan yang sifatnya memang untuk kebutuhan utama kalian. Tips yang keempat terkait dengan pengelolaan aset. Jadi jika ternyata penghasilan yang kalian miliki ini tidak bisa menutup kebutuhan kalian, maka kalian bisa mempertimbangkan untuk menjual aset yang kalian miliki. Tips yang kelima, jangan lupa sisihkan sekitar 10% dari penghasilan kalian untuk ditabung di tiap bulannya. Dan saat keadaan keuangan kalian sedang sulit, tidak menjadi alasan untuk gagal mencapai impian. Jangan lupa ya, harus selalu rajin dan juga disiplin dalam menabung Sobat Investor.
Welcome back on Market Headlines. Kopi Kenangan is included in the list of businesses with unicorn status. The company grabbed the status after it received Series C funding of $96 million or around 1.3 trillion rupiah.
Kopi Kenangan, a food and beverage network, is included in the ranks of businesses with unicorn status or those with a valuation of $1 billion or more. Kopi Kenangan grabbed the status of a unicorn after it received Series C funding for the first phase of $96 million or around 1.3 trillion rupiah. Kopi Kenangan CEO and co-founder Edward Tirtanata explained that the Series C funding was led by Thai-born Capital Management and was followed by a number of investors from the previous series such as Horizons Ventures, Kunlun NB Capital, as well as a new investor namely Falcon Edge Capital. He said this funding was obtained after Kopi Kenangan confirmed its position as a brand with high domestic demand. Edward said Kopi Kenangan also managed to record good revenue growth over the last 12 months, with sales figures more than doubled compared to the previous year. According to him, this was successfully done by maintaining a healthy level of profitability at each outlet, while reducing the payback period for each outlet to be shorter. With this new funding, the company plans to accelerate store expansion throughout Indonesia. Kopi Kenangan will also expand its network to reach international markets, where in the next 5 years, the company plans to rapidly expand its reach to reach thousands of outlets in Southeast Asia. IDX Channel reports.
Minister of Trade will provide subsidies for cooking oil so that the price can be cheaper. The subsidy will be provided through the use of funds from the Palm Oil Plantation Fund Management Agency. Minister of Trade Muhammad Lutfi said that his party is currently reviewing and testing subsidies. He hopes the study will be completed in January. He said the price of cooking oil needed to be subsidized because the super cycle phenomenon made oil prices soar. Lutfi explained that the highest retail price of cooking oil at 11,000 rupiah per kilogram was made assuming the international CPO price was equivalent to $500 to $710 per metric ton. However, currently prices at world level have penetrated $1,350 per metric ton. Note that, according to Lutfi, the price of cooking oil at the community level is exorbitant. Even so, Lutfi said that his party had taken several mitigation steps, one of which was by ensuring that there were 11 million liters of bulk cooking oil stock at the level of 14,000 rupiah. And previously, the increase in cooking oil prices had occurred in the last few months. The price increase even made the Ministry of Trade cancel the ban on bulk oil, which would actually take effect on January 1st, 2022.
Acuan bahwa harga minyak goreng itu 11.000, harga CPO itu antara 500 sampai 710 dolar Amerika Serikat. Nah, sekarang harga CPO-nya sudah terbang menjadi sekitar 1.350. Nah, perdagangan sudah memitigasi dengan cara memastikan adanya 11 juta liter dalam kemasan sederhana minyak goreng yang dijual di 14.000. Yang kedua, kalau harganya masih tetap tinggi, kita mencoba mensubsidi melalui BPDP PKS kelapa sawit. Nah, ini sedang kita jalankan, kita sedang uji testing karena ini baru pertama kali dikerjakan dan mudah-mudahan bisa selesai.
Meantime, Pertamina decided to increase the price of non-subsidized LPG by 1,600 rupiah to 2,600 rupiah per kilogram. Pertamina argued that the increase was done to respond to the surge in prices at the international level.
Pertamina decided to increase the price of non-subsidized LPG by 1,600 to 2,600 rupiah per kilogram from Saturday, December 25, 2021. Pertamina argued that the increase was done to respond to the surge in prices at the international level. Acting Corporate Secretary Pertamina Patraniaga Subholding Pertamina Commercial and Trading Irto Ginting said that the amount of the non-subsidized LPG price adjustment, whose national consumption portion was 7.5%, ranged from 1,600 to 2,600 rupiah per kilogram. This difference is to support the uniformity of LPG prices in the future and to create price fairness between regions. Irto claimed that the increase in non-subsidized LPG prices was a response to the upward trend in Aramco LPG contract prices, which continue to increase throughout this year. He noted that in November 2021, the price reached $847 per metric ton, or the highest price since 2014, or an increase of 57% since January 2021. Even so, Irto ensured that the subsidized 3-kilogram LPG, which nationally consumed 92.5%, did not increase in price. Despite the price increase, he explained that Pertamina's LPG price was still competitive, which was around 11,500 rupiah per kilogram as of November 3. He said the price of LPG in Indonesia is cheaper than Vietnam at around 23,000, the Philippines at around 26,000, and Singapore at around 31,000 rupiah per kilogram. He did not deny that the price of LPG in Indonesia is still more expensive than Malaysia and Thailand because of subsidies from the governments of the two countries. IDX Channel reports. Bulog reports that the absorption of domestic rice until the end of 2021 had reached 1.2 million tons. This achievement is believed to be sufficient for the availability of government rice reserves, so there is no need to import rice. Until the end of 2021, Bulog has absorbed farmers' rice reaching 1.2 million tons. Bulog's President Director Budi Waseso explained the realization of the rice procurement is a higher achievement than the previous 3 years. He said the absorption of domestic rice was very helpful for Indonesian farmers who had difficulty selling rice during the pandemic. By optimizing the absorption of domestic rice, the Indonesian government has succeeded in not importing rice in the last 3 years.
Dalam 3 tahun terakhir ini, ya untuk CBP kita tidak pernah impor. Ya apa yang telah disampaikan Pak Presiden, waktu itu beliau menyampaikan bahwa Indonesia sampai saat ini tidak melakukan impor. Bulog khususnya untuk CBP sampai hari ini juga tidak melakukan impor. Bagaimana prediksi ke depan? Ya, tentunya untuk 2021 ya dengan kita melaksanakan penyerapan dalam negeri ya di mana waktu virus Covid ini petani susah menjual dan daya kemampuan beli masyarakat menurun ya karena ada PPKM dan yang lain-lainnya, tapi kita bisa menyerap produksi dalam negeri. Artinya di sini dalam satu sisi kita menolong petani dari produksinya, di sisi lain kita bisa menyalurkan kebutuhan-kebutuhan daripada masyarakat atau konsumen.
Budi Waseso explained that together with the government, Bulog had distributed rice assistance to 28.8 million beneficiary families. In addition, Bulog has disbursed fortified rice for 2,150 children under 5 in 7 provinces to reduce stunting prevalence and distribute 8,500 tons of rice for national disaster emergencies throughout 2021. Meanwhile, Bulog targets that next year the government's stock of rice reserves will exceed 1.2 million tons. From Jakarta, Rizka Ayu, Irfan Hardiansyah for IDX Channel. Market Headlines will be back after this quick break. Stay tuned with us.
Ingin menjalani kehidupan yang mapan dan masa depan yang sejahtera? Sikapi uang dengan bijak. Mulailah berinvestasi di pasar modal. Dengan membeli saham melalui Bursa Efek maupun perusahaan sekuritas, Anda dapat menikmati hasil keuntungan dari perusahaan-perusahaan besar yang tersedia. Pastikan Anda berinvestasi di perusahaan yang memiliki izin resmi, cerdas mengelola, masa depan sejahtera. Otoritas Jasa Keuangan, lembaga pengawas industri jasa keuangan yang terpercaya.
Wakil Presiden Maruf Amin menegaskan pengembangan industri halal menjadi salah satu fokus pemerintah dalam memajukan sektor industri di Indonesia.
Kita mampu untuk menjadi produsen halal terbesar.
Menurut kalian lebih penting apa dulu? Apakah modal dana dulu atau lebih ke apa?
Ada ide, kamu bikin draft, kamu lakuin. Sekecil apapun langkah yang kamu ambil, kamu harus maju.
Gimana? Dukungan orang tua seperti apa Felicia dulu?
Dari kecil itu sebenarnya kita udah didukung banget sih. Kayak kita dibebasin lah, mau ngapain ya udah lakuin aja. Dan kebetulan sejak kecil pun kayaknya udah tahu gitu mau kita apa.
Presiden Joko Widodo menghadiri konferensi tingkat tinggi COP26 di kota Glasgow, Skotlandia.
Dengan potensi alam yang begitu besar, Indonesia terus berkontribusi dalam penanganan perubahan iklim.
Welcome back on Market Headlines. At the Jakarta Composite Index intraday movement, earlier today, JCI was open at the level of 6,597.82. And then approaching the closing time on the first session, the index was on the level of 6,606.08. And then the index was showing strengthening trend by the second session closing time. JCI was closed at the level 6,598.34. And in short, JCI went up 0.35%. And let's see the sectoral movement. Leading the dynamics of today's trading, we got energy went up 2.48%, industry went up 1.74%, cyclic went down 1.13%, and basic went down 0.29%. And moving on to top gainers and top losers, from the top gainers, we can see Adaro went up 5.5%, Arto went up 1.78%, Bukit Asam went up 3.7%, and Bank Rakyat Indonesia or BBRI went up 0.74%. And for the top losers for today's trading, we got Merdeka Copper Gold went down 0.25%, MLPL went down 2.17%, Bukalapak went down 3.59%, and Bank Bukopin went down 1.4%. And from Rupiah movement towards US dollar, open at the level of 14,242. Rupiah showing weakening trend towards US dollar, and it was closed at the level of 14,273. In summary, Rupiah went down 0.91%. Mitratel and Alita Praya established a cooperation to expand the coverage of fiber optic services. The cooperation includes the construction and leasing of 6,000 kilometers of fiber optic networks. Daya Mitra Telekomunikasi, or known as Mitratel, and Alita Praya Mitra signed a cooperation agreement to expand the coverage of fiber optic services. The cooperation includes the construction and leasing of 6,000 kilometers of fiber optic networks nationwide. President Director of Alita Praya Mitra, Teguh Prasetya, said that this cooperation agreement is a form of joint collaboration in realizing synergy between the two companies to increase fiberization penetration in Indonesia. This collaboration is expected to strengthen fiber optic networks to support more massive 5G fiberization and 4G strengthening by cellular operators to improve the quality of mobile broadband services to reach speeds above 1 gigabits per second for users. Mitratel President Director Theodorus Arti Hartoko, in his remarks at the signing of the cooperation agreement, said that the cooperation in the construction of a fiber optic network between Mitratel and Alita is an organic action according to the company's plan to strengthen the digital ecosystem infrastructure in Indonesia. IDX Channel reports. Indosat and Hutchison 3 Indonesia will be merged effectively on January 4, 2022. Both the management believes that the merger will create significant operational synergies, including cost savings. Indosat and Hutchison 3 Indonesia will be merged effectively on January 4, 2022. Previously, the boards of commissioners of each company approved the merger on September 16, 2021 and renewed it on December 20, 2021. Regarding the merger, the Ministry of Communications and Informatics has also given its approval on November 5, 2021. Thus, the effective date of the merger is January 4, 2022, unless Indosat suspends on the basis of the approval of the Minister of Law and Human Rights. Management believes that the merger will create significant operational synergies, including cost savings, and provide the surviving company with the ability to invest in the network.
Based on the exchange ratio, Indosat will hold a 67.4% share ownership in the surviving company, while Hutchison 3 Indonesia is 32.6%. At the completion of the business merger, Indosat will issue 2.6 billion shares to 3 Indonesia shareholders, which will represent 32.6% of the capital. IDX Channel reports.
And stepping aside from market condition, as the efforts in achieving herd immunity is still going on, here it is an update data about COVID-19 vaccinations in Indonesia. And the news close our market headlines today. Please enjoy our next program on IDX Channel, your trustworthy economic, business and capital market channel. And viewers, even though the pandemic situation is getting better, the discipline of wearing masks must be maintained even though we have been vaccinated. Moreover, ahead of the new year, we are appealed to limit activities to prevent a spike in COVID-19 cases. So stay alert and stay safe. I'm Fajar Wayong. Have a nice evening.
Halo pemirsa, selamat pagi. Langsung dari area studio IDX Channel Jakarta, saya Mangivera Tjong dan rekan saya Wicky Adrian hadir dalam Power Breakfast.
Ya, kami hadir setiap pagi menemani Anda dengan menyajikan informasi ekonomi